us up on the desk. We've got a headset for you, so you can join in the conversation. First of all, congratulations. You must be feeling good making it to Legends.
Yeah, it feels good. It was the first stage, right? So, but we are obviously here for more.
Were there any surprises, just going back to that Dust 2, because we were kind of surprised to see BNE pulling out such a strong CT side. Was there any particular surprises for you in that?
No, I think our Dust 2 was pretty good. I think yesterday was not a very good showing. I think 5 times during that CT half we gave an entry within 10 seconds to Monesian Suicide when we watched that back, and that's just not good enough, and then it's impossible to play a good CT, right?
Right, yeah. Okay, I want to talk about a little bit of maybe Bad News Eagles and their comeback on Dust 2. Why do you think they had such a chance there to make that so competitive?
I think every team in the world is struggling on T side sometimes when you don't get off to a good start. I think we were down 5-0. And when you get to that point, the money has built up and it just becomes hard. So we had to pull out some good rounds. I think we had a few chances. I think we had a chance on B, and we also had a 2-on-2 where Spinks died last second and GX ended defusing.
Right.
But overall, I think we actually played decent on T when we actually had weapon rounds.
One more thing about Spinks. Where do you think he is in the tier list of riflers in the world right now?
I think he's pretty high so far in 2020. I think 2022. I think also that he's obviously he's really like comfortable in our system, and I think that helps him a lot. But also mega credit to him because he's like such a good teammate. I can always trust that he will do what I want him to do, which is not something that is necessarily like usual in CS. So he's just a really hard worker and a really good teammate.
Snappi, I think most of us agree that ENCE right now are one of the more interesting teams coming into the major. I think a lot of us expect you guys to potentially even go into the playoff. From your point of view, what are the goals for ENCE? Is it enough just to qualify for the Legend stage, or are you looking to go into the playoff and potentially go all the way?
Yeah, I mean, our first goal was like we do like small goals. It's always one step at a time. Yeah, so this was the first one. The next one is the playoff, and then if we get there, we'll set a new goal, right? But I think deep inside, we obviously expect playoffs at least.
For sure, and let me put you a little bit on the spot, right? Because I feel everyone is so positive around you guys for good reason. There's a couple of weaknesses that maybe is a weakness or not. We often talk about you being a very, how do I say, you call out our spawns a lot, right? You have a lot of set strats from the beginning of the rounds. And is that a misconception by us? Is there a lot of mid-round going on? Or is that like you guys being a little bit too one-dimensional, perhaps?
I think it is a misconception. I do have it a lot, but I think it is a misconception. I think it goes back to the day I played back in Heroic, the first version especially. It was my first job as an in-game leader. And there I had Glaive, which were helping a lot with the mid-round. So when he left, it made it hard for me, and it was something I had to develop. But I do think it is a misconception very much these days. However, we do also have a lot of surprising things. But I think you actually need it, especially in this meta. You need these surprising things, because if you just let the CT sit and play slow defaults and let the M4s in the current meta just take their duels on their conditions, it's not going to be a very fun T side usually.
Okay, and another thing that people have been raising a concern about has been Haters' performances. I think we see him play well, then we see him play not so well. It's very much up and down. Is that something you're focused on? Are you guys trying to help him out or make him feel more comfortable, or are you happy with what he's doing right now?
Yeah, I'm happy. Like, people have to realize it's Haters' first like good team, and actually for most of these players it is. So we develop, and we develop together, right? And I think there's a lot of upside in having all these young players, because they get a little bit better day by day. And I think that's also what you've been seeing since we gathered the team, that everyone is like getting 1% better each month. And that's why we are like having such a good trajectory on the rankings.
Just in terms of how you kind of help these younger players, some of the more, I guess, inexperienced players on these LAN stages, you yourself, you've been in Counter-Strike for a long time. You're a veteran of the scene, really. So how do you kind of help some of these players coming into situations like this, and potentially, we're going to be seeing you at the Blast finals as well in front of a crowd, potentially making it to the playoffs as well. How do you kind of help your players with that?
I mean, I think the thing is that you need to kind of take the nerves out of it straight away. It doesn't matter if you lose. At the end of the day, it's an experience getting to the stage. Like, I've played on stages before, and to be honest, like, I actually felt that it's not really something that gives you nerves, and I think I can kind of tell the boys why. I mean, like when you have 50 guys in a room and some of them are your family, that's when you get nervous. You don't get nervous when there's 10,000 people and it's just a picture. You can't see faces. And I think that's one of the key things that people need to understand in the team. And I actually don't think it's really gonna matter because most of these guys are pretty ice cold, to be honest. And Spinks is just happy to play with 5 pinks. So.
Listen, Snappi, I have one more question for you. It's very, it's very popular to talk about age in Counter-Strike, and as said, you've been around for a long time. I don't want to call you old, but you are one of the guys with the, up there. How do you feel that is affecting you? Like, you seem more motivated. You seem more happy playing Counter-Strike than ever. Is that the same feeling you're having right now?
Yeah, I think in this team especially, like, people support each other really well. And I get to be the in-game leader I want to be, especially due to having Saw. He's helping me out a lot, taking a lot of the pressure off my shoulders. And people understand when me or Saw are raging. It's something that they need to kind of listen to. And I just think that the age thing is just going to be something that develop with time. I think it's not really been explored. I left CS for 3 years, right? Then I came back. And I think a lot of the older players did the same as me because it was not like a career path back in the day. So you had to do something else. So age is just going to rise. And I think especially as an in-game leader, the experience is going to benefit you more than anything. So, yeah.
Snappy,
there's still hope, man.
Can you give us a few words about Saul, your coach? Because I'm familiar with him from obviously the Javi project as well. But I don't think we kind of have heard too much about what he brings to the team. How exactly do you work with him? Why do you think he's such a good coach? I
think he's such a good coach because he supports me in the way I want to play. And he kind of elevates what I want to do. And he kind of challenged me to get out of my comfort zone sometimes. And he has natural authority. I think the entire team also have to give everyone credit for like respecting like the system and the way we do things. But I just think he's a really smart guy. I can listen to him. I get a new perspective. I think he just does everything. You can always count on him doing everything. Like I don't even I don't even go to do the videos anymore because I know he has everything under lock and he's not gonna do mistakes. He don't do a lot of mistakes. So he's just he is literally just as an important piece as every player in the team.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys enter that Legends stage. Maybe just a few words to what you're going to be doing in between that sort of off time before we go into Legends.
Yeah, we're gonna look at our game. I think especially the game yesterday, there was some frustration because we didn't play good, and a lot of it came down to sloppiness more than anything. Sloppiness regarding doing bad peaks, sloppiness regarding missing nades, and it's something we have some days to fix now. Because I definitely wasn't happy, and I don't think anyone else in the team were happy when they watched that game back.
Are G2 a team that you kind of want to be refacing at the Legend stage, or are there any other names out there that you're like really hungry to be taken on?
Not really, to be honest. I don't really think we have any. We don't really have any teams that we have a beef with. Like we are from. Everyone is like new to the scene, so at the end of the day, I think we don't really care who we face.
More importantly, though, how are your pick'ems doing right now?
Yes.
I think I am through already because I had Renegade 0-3, and I'm pretty sure I had VP. Or Outsiders, us, Vitality, and G2. So I think,
I think you're doing better than all of us, perhaps combined, out there on the desk. So well done for that one, Snappi. Really looking forward to seeing you guys entering the Legend stage. We're going to be throwing it to